Hi there. Remember me? So how are we all doing? It's been a while. Yeah, guess what? Van's been going perfectly for a couple of months now, so what I'm going to tell you, if you own a Volkswagen T4, is not going to surprise you. It's broken. So the problem we've got this time is the gear linkage on the underside of the gear stick has decided it's going to snap. So we're going to get underneath the van, we're going to take the gear stick off, and we're going to try and either repair the bracket, or if we can't repair it, we're going to have to buy a new one. So let's get the van jacked up and let's get it off. As you can see, van's all jacked up. Okay, so we're under the van. There's not a huge amount of space under here, as you can see. Let me show you what needs mending. So this is the offending part. As you can see, I don't know if you can see, just here, oh, fell on my head, there's a bit of a bracket, and that bit of bracket just in there somewhere has snapped. So we need to remove all this, and then we can see whether we can repair or whether we have to buy a new one. Let's get it off. Okay, so as you probably noticed from underneath there's not a huge amount of space. So what we're going to do is we're going to undo the linkage from the bottom, undo the 4 bolts underneath, and then we're going to push the gear stick up, and then we should be able to remove it. So I'll get that done and we'll catch up once I've got the once we've got the gear stick off. It's getting serious. Right, so all the screws and mechanism is disconnected underneath the van, so now we need to just detach the end of the gear linkage from the gearbox. So I'll show you that now. So just down in here is the end of the gear linkage and the gear selector. So what we have is a little pillar, if you can see it. Try and get you a bit closer. Right, so what we have there is this piece just here is attached by 2 10mm bolts, which you just undo and then it will come off, or I've left one on, and then that releases, I don't know if you can see, that releases, if you see on the top there's the ball end, which we're going to replace that as well. So now we just need to get a bar on the other side and just pop the gear linkage out, and then we should be good to remove it. Or at least that's the theory. Fingers crossed. So the offending part is out. So I'm just going to switch you around, because as you can see, this bit should be attached to this bit. That could be the problem. So as you can see, this piece here is what holds the end of the gear linkage. So this obviously should not be able to come in and out. What's happened, as you can see there, it snapped. No idea why, but for some reason it decided to snap. So luckily the bits meet up quite nicely, and there's lots of good metal next to it, so we're going to give it a weld. So to buy a replacement of these is about 100 quid. You can buy a whole assembly for about 130, which we don't need all the rest of it, so seems a bit daft not to try and weld it for some reason.
Hold it in front of me now. That went above it, that did. That got part of it.
So, welding done. Put a couple of tacks around this one as well. Stronger now than when it was made. Let's get it back on. So while we had it off, I've changed the bush on that end. You can't really see in there, but there's a new plug bush in there, and I've just offered the new one up to this, and it's exactly the same size, so that one's going to stay where it is. Let's get it back together. Right, so it's all back together. I had a few problems just aligning the gears and stuff, but it was easy enough. We just had to loosen off the clamp underneath and just slightly rotate the selector, but it was straightforward enough. I hope you enjoyed the video. I've got we've got a new project coming. We've got a big Mercedes 614 Vario coming, a minibus, so should be full steam ahead converting that to the camper. So hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.